Right then, welcome back. We're now in the year 2026. We've gone another 3 years into the future, and let's see what difference 200 potential to every Premier League player has made. So, I'll be honest, this is not where I expected to start, but I couldn't help but see on this home screen here that Carter Vickers has moved to Lille. And I thought, well, he starts in the Prem, what difference has it made? And I'll be honest, he looks quite good. I've not seen too much of him in this current FM, but I don't believe he's got too much potential. Obviously, as I've shown many times, he's got the 200 potential. He's valued at 30.5, and I've completely missed out what his current ability was. 137. So he's moved for 22.5 million. He's moved around the French leagues quite a bit after being bought on a free transfer to Saint Etienne, moving to Lyon for 9.5, to Rennes for 21, and now to Lille for 22.5. So, it's some of the smaller players it's definitely having an effect on. He's not world class, don't get me wrong, but I tell you what, he's not half bad. And then here we go. We're doing exactly what we did last time. We're looking at the shortlist, sorting by current ability and potential ability, and we have some 200 current abilities. Right at the top, we've got Marcus Rashford, £90 million value. We'll just look at it again. 200 current ability. It says recommended current ability, 199. So I think that's really what he is based on his stats. So he's not quite at the ability of a 200, but his current ability is 200. And I tell you what, he looks bloody good. There's nothing here really that I could say he needs to improve on. Crossing at 14 is not great, but he's more of an inside forward and the finishing's what he needs. And 14 for someone who doesn't do much crossing is not to be scoffed at whatsoever. Positioning is probably the only major concern. Other than that, every single attribute here is looking really good for Marcus. And then his fellow Englishman and Manchester United player, Mason Greenwood, also 90 million, also 200 current ability, except his recommended current ability is 198. So, again, that says to me that he's still got some growing to do. So, that's really promising for Mason. Same situation, really. I mean, passing probably could be improved. Crossing again, but he's not really doing too much of it. Bravery and positioning, again, could be better. But other than that, really, for his position and his role as an inside forward on the right wing, he looks really good. And then the third and final 200 current ability, it's their arch rivals, Liverpool. Curtis Jones, £84 million. And I mean, he looks very good and he's not really got anything that's missing out. He can finish, he can cross. I tell you what, he looks more well-rounded than both Rashford and Greenwood, I'd say. And as someone who has an affiliation with Manchester United, that hurts. Yeah, Curtis Jones, you look really good. And now we're moving on to the 199s. Brandon Williams, we'll just see what his actual is. 198, so he's only one down from what it's suggesting. I could have looked at Trent. We looked at Trent beforehand, which is why we're not doing so right now. But he's also 199. Brandon Williams we briefly looked at, but we're going to look at him again. And the first thing I'm noticing is 13 finishing for a left-back. That's really good. I really quite like that. 11 long shots as well. I tell you what. He's one that you'd probably want as a complete wing-back, really. Getting forward, having some chances, crossing the ball into the box. I tell you what, he could probably play further up the pitch, maybe as like an attacking midfielder or an advanced playmaker. I think he'd be really good. So now we're moving on to a relatively, as far as I'm concerned, unknown player. I believe he starts at Liverpool. We'll just have a look. So he does? Does he? I'm very confused. Because these are all blacked out. So I get, well, I know, because he's, right, should we, right, reset brain. Yeah, okay, he's not made any appearances. That's why I'm not seeing goals, assists, or player of the matches. So he starts at Liverpool. He does, can confirm that. Doesn't make any appearances, goes on a couple of loans, does really well. And now he's a first team player for Liverpool, with Trent in the team, might I add. 195 current ability, with obviously the 200 potential. I don't know what its potential is actually in game, but as far as I'm aware, nowhere near this good. So now it's another 195. Oscar Bob, which, might I say, is a ridiculously incredible name. Starts at Man City, I believe. I will get it right this time. He does. A couple of loans to Oxford and Bournemouth in League One and the Championship, respectively, before coming back to Manchester City, making some pretty good performances and making it for Man City. Very well-rounded winger. I mean, he's got some attributes that are missing, but nothing that's too important. You know, it's more the set pieces and heading that he's not quite got there. But I don't think, as a right winger or inside forward, I don't think that's necessarily essential. He looks really good. Norwegian, 22 years old. He's got plenty of room for growth. I don't know what his potential is in game normally, but again, like the last player we looked at, I'd say he's probably achieved a lot more than we would have thought. So I'm not going to point out anyone specifically anymore. I'm just going to kind of scroll through a bit and just point out the number of Pedro Porro, Corral Reddin, Josh Wilson, Esbrand, Terry Taylor, Ethan Fitzhughes, the amount of players that I haven't heard of that are, probably they've got some potential, but they've not got loads. And with this change, they're managing to achieve the best, which really does show how good players can become with the facilities that they need. Just looking down. If I tell you what, right now, if you see any players here that you want me to look more in depth at, tweet me or comment on this video of the player you want me to have a look at, and I will look at them. It may not be within the database at the 2026 point. It may be the 2029, or if I keep I might try and keep an older version of this database so I can go back and have a look at that time just to make sure players haven't retired. But yeah, if there's anyone in particular that you see or anyone that you're curious about that started in the Premier League that you want me to have a closer look at, I can go ahead and do that and send you the screenshot of how they're looking. So I was just about to have a look at the World Cup, and then I realised that it's still going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate a little bit further just so that we can have a look at how the World Cup ends up. Because as we know, England won the most recent World Cup. So let's see, can they hold on to it? Okay, so we've gone a little bit further into the future, and let's have a look to see whether England could retain their World Cup, and if not, who's won it? So England weren't even in the final. It was Holland against Portugal, where Holland managed to win the World Cup. Let's just flick back a few and see where they got knocked out. They didn't make it to the semi-finals. That was Italy and Belgium. Quarterfinals? Didn't make it to that either. This is not looking good, England. Okay, so they got knocked out in the third round, which is the second knockout round, to the eventual winners, Holland. So I think we can forgive them for that. But what is Holland's team looking like? Let's have a look at can we look at the game? Oh, we can. Okay, so if we look at the team, so we've got players like Taif Chong, which we've got to remember is one of the players who has the 200 potential, and looking at him there, he looks very good. So no surprises there whatsoever. We've also got Virgil Van Dijk, who didn't actually play by the looks of it. Do we have any other? We've got Van der Beek, Bergwijn. Frimpong was he? Was he? Jeremy Frimpong? No, he was Celtic, yeah. So he didn't have it. Although he looks like a very good player, so you can understand why I was a bit confused. Van der Beek, let's have a quick look at Van der Beek. Again, really good. Probably not one of the standout players, but really well-rounded. Really good-looking player. We'll have a look at Van Dijk. Van Dijk's getting on a bit. 35 years old. 6.5 million value. He's got a current ability of 162. He's obviously still got that potential of 200, but he's not managed to push for those last few years of his career to try and push that up even further. But to be fair, he was pretty good anyway, so I don't think we can be too surprised that he's not pushed even further. So, taking a look at the Ballon d'Or to see if we've got any Premier League players on there. Unsurprisingly, Kylian Mbappe has won it 2 years in a row now. If we go back to the present day, so the first season, Azbala won it, Hazard came second, Ronaldo third. So none of our players that we've given a boost to in potential are in the top three. If we go to 2022, we got Harry Kane. Now let's have a look at Harry Kane. He's 32 years old now, so he's possibly going to be declining a bit. But 179 current ability is very good. And looking at his stats, he still looks really well-rounded, even at 32. So I wouldn't have thought his attributes will be declining quite yet. And then 2023 is when it happened. Marcus Rashford, the player that we've seen so much already, won the Ballon d'Or, which is incredible to see. Let's see, did anyone get in there again? I mean, 2024 was Kevin De Bruyne got in there second place, and Marcus Rashford came third. How's KDB coming along? I mean, 35 years old, 7.5 million value, 171 current ability. So I'm going to say that he probably managed to get a bit from the 200 potential, but not too much. Did get a little bit better, but I mean, he's still incredible. He didn't get the 200, but he got close enough to be world class. Not that he wasn't already. I don't want to upset anyone. And then the most recent one, Kylian Mbappe won it again, as we already know. Marcus Rashford coming second, and Mason Greenwood, another player that we've already looked plenty at, got a boost in his value apparently. 99 million he's now worth. And seeing that 99 million has made me think, I wonder who is the most valuable player in the Premier League. It is Mason Greenwood. 99, and we've got 92. Oscar Bob, my favourite name in the game. 90, 89, 86, and there we go. Now we're dropping off to some more recognisable values. And then if we have a look at the World Team of the Year, we can see plenty of Premier League players. So we've got Brandon Williams. This is the most recent, well, last year's one, sorry, 2025. We've got Brandon Williams, Laporte, Pedro Porro, Bernardo Silva, Rashford, Tielemans, Greenwood, all starting in the Premier League, so having that boost. Have we got anyone on the bench? Reece James is there. Steven Bergwijn, Fabio Silva's there. Go back a year. Rashford again. De Bruyne, Laporte, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold. Digne's there. We haven't had a look at Digne yet. He's 32 years old. He's declining. But tell you what, solid. And if we go back another year, 2025, Greenwood, Rashford, Tielemans, it's all the same players. Bernardo Silva, Brandon Williams, Laporte, Porro. I mean, I feel like we're going to keep going back and we're going to get the same players. Yet no one new there. Let's keep an eye out. Bruno Fernandez has made it in there. 31 years old, 56 million. I wonder what his current ability is. 185. Again, another player that's received some help with that potential boost. But again, already a really good player. Legendary attacking midfielder. That's what you like to see. Other than that, though, I don't think there's any new... Oh, Azbala Quetta made a move to Barcelona. He's now at Villarreal. Still looks pretty good, to be fair. But at 36, he is definitely declining. Going back some more... Again, it's the same suspects, really. There's no one really that's standing out that hasn't already been there. Region, 59 million. To be fair, he's relatively young at the start of the game, and he's not made the most of that 200 potential. I will say that now. He has not made the most of that, which is surprising, to be fair, because he's performed well, just for whatever reason. I wonder if it's injuries. Has he had many injuries? Not really. One long-term one, but other than that, yeah, I mean, he's a good left back. Don't get me wrong, but with the potential only being 172, and he started the game at 23 years old. I felt like he could probably have done a bit better, really. But other than that, I think looking at the team, we're now getting into present day, and it's all looking pretty much as we expected. One player I did realise I didn't look at was Tielemans. 80 million, 29 years old, current ability of 182. Solid. Yeah, looks really good. And now we're just having a look at some transfers. I've been flicking through to see if there's anything really that stands out. And there's not been too much, apart from this year, the 23-24 season, where Fabio Silva moved to Chelsea for 106 million. And, I mean, I'm going to butcher this. Did he? Before I butcher it, can we just make sure that he definitely started in the Premier League? He did. So he has got the 200 potential. Mikhail Karbonvik. Definitely not how you say it. Let's just make sure he does. He does have the 200 potential. 190 is where he's at now, playing for Liverpool. Moved for 105 million. And then we've also got Christian Pulisic moving for 103. Harvey Barnes for 69. I mean, again, after that, it kind of all goes back to normality. Ollie Watkins is one that's just stood out to me. 50 million his transfer was. 160 current ability. Again, not one of those players that's probably not made the most of it, really. But then at the same time, he was... How old was he? He was 24 at the start. So, you know, you can understand why he's not quite made the most of that 200 potential. And then going forward, more transfers. We've got Dwight Mcneal from Burnley to Man City for 99 million. Wow. He looks really good. Not one of the standout players, but again, another really good player. 171. He was 20 at the time, so he probably... I mean, he's still got room to improve, so you never know. We might see him improve even further. Terry Taylor's appearing again for 89 million. And I've jumped over another one. Will Tizard, starting at Southampton, making a loan to Oxford. Doing all right there, and then after that, I would say he's become a regular. Oh, well, he became a regular for Southampton. He's not really been a regular for United. 18 appearances, so he's played some. I wonder if there's an injury in there. Yeah, there we go. There has been an injury that's probably kept him out of the team for quite a while. A 2-month injury. That's probably why. I mean, he's been given the number 4, so I expect that they probably wanted it to play him a bit more. And tell you what, he looks really good. Technically, for a centre-back, he's really good. Past that, not amazing. But if we just take a quick look at his current ability, 183 at 23 years old. Will Tizard, I'm telling you now, it's a player we need to keep an eye out for. Okay, and that is going to end this part of the video. We're going to make quite a big jump this time, actually. We're not going to do 3 years into the future. I think we're going to double it. We're going to do 6. So we're going to have a lot to cover in the next video. It might be a little bit longer. I might manage to keep it the same length. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow my Twitter and my Twitch to find out all the stuff I'm getting up to on Twitch and on YouTube. I have something new that I'm planning on doing on YouTube that I didn't think I was going to do. And over the last couple of days, I've realised, actually, I'd quite enjoy that. So keep an eye out on Twitter for that. And again, make sure you subscribe to be notified of when that goes live. As well, obviously, you've got to click the bell. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you later.